Hi, we are going to take a look at Chapter 8, Markup Examples. In Chapter 8, you are given a handful of examples that are looking at how to accurately mark up merchandise or products that you might be selling. There are a couple of vocabulary words that you're going to see over and over again, and one of the vocabulary words is going to be cost. In our example here, it says the cost of a refrigerator. This word cost is going to be associated with an initial cost. If you own a store and you are purchasing items from a vendor or from a manufacturer and you are getting them wholesale or bulk, the cost is going to be much less. So when you sell those items, you will need to make a profit in order to cover the business expenses, in order to cover your employees, in order to cover shipping of your products and all of the overhead that comes with owning a business. And so when you see the word cost in your problems, you need to tell yourself that's the initial cost. That's the cost that the manufacturer or the wholesaler is giving the items for. And another vocab word that you're going to see is selling price. Selling price is what you are going to be selling the product for after there is a markup value. Generally, your markup will be in terms of a percentage, okay? And so cost is your initial cost. Selling price is what you're selling your item for at the store or online. And the markup percentage is how much you are marking up your product. Now, there are two ways you can mark up your product. You can mark up your product based on cost, so that you can mark it up based on what the initial cost was that you got your item for. You can also mark up based on what you want to sell the product for. Okay, so these are all of our formulas down here that are based on markup of cost. These are our formulas over here that are based on a markup of your selling price. Okay, so if you have a markup on your selling price, you're going to use these this column of formulas here. So in your problem, look for based on cost or based on selling price. Here I have an example, and I notice it is based on the cost. So I'm going to be using this this section of formulas, and we'll see which one I need. Okay, the cost of a fridge is $1,180. The owner of the store wants to sell it with a markup percentage of 40% based on the cost. What is the selling price of the fridge? First, I'm going to quickly note what my variables are. I know that my cost is $1,180. I know that I have a markup percentage of 40%. And when you are putting your percents down, you can put them as percents. When you are computing them, I'll show you later on, you change your percentage to a decimal, okay, by dividing by 100, okay? So 40%, then the question is, what is the selling price? Well, selling price is what I don't know. So let's see, I need to find the selling price based on cost. So this is going to be my block that I'm looking at. I can use this two-step process, or I can use this simple formula right down here that links the two steps together. Selling price is what I don't know, so that's the formula I will use. My selling price formula is equal to 100%. And again, remember, keep your percentages until you're computing. Then you can take them off once you're applying your percentages to the rest of the formula. So 100% plus my markup percentage, that is my markup percentage here, 40%. And then I'm going to multiply that by my cost. Now my cost is equal to 1,180. And you know, I didn't put, let me just I didn't put a multiplication symbol in there. You don't have to put one in there, but because you're probably used to seeing one, I'm going to put it in there so that you know what I'm doing. My operation is multiplication. $1,180 is going to go here. Okay, so when I'm computing my selling price, I keep going. 100% times, plus 40% is 140%. Okay, I simplify that. And then when I multiply that by 1,100 and, oh, I did it again. Let me put my multiplication in there. When I multiply by 1,180, that's when I have to convert my percentage to a decimal. Okay, so I will go ahead, I will convert this to a decimal by dividing by 100. I have 1.40 times 1,180. So when you work out this problem, we have 1.4 times 1,180. We get $1,600. $1,652 and no cents. So that's what the manufacturer, that's what the store owner would need to sell his refrigerator for if he wants a markup percentage of 40% based on 1,180, which is the initial cost. In this second example, we have the cost of a used tablet. Remember, cost is your initial value that the product is being sold for, or is being purchased, I guess, by the store owner. So the store owner paid $190 for a used tablet, and they want to resell it with a markup percentage of 30%. But this one, notice this one, it is not based on the cost, it is based on the final selling price. So instead of these formulas on the left side, you want these formulas here on the right side. I press pause to insert our values. The cost is $190, the markup percentage is 30%. We want the selling price based on the final selling price. So what is this gonna cost the consumer coming into the store? What's it gonna cost them when they purchase it? Based on the selling price. Okay, so we're in the based on the selling price column, and I want the selling price, so this is the formula we're going to be looking at right here. Okay, so we plug in what we know into the formula to find our selling price. Our cost is $190, so that's the value that goes upstairs. Then downstairs we take 100 minus your markup percentage. So 100% take away my 30% markup percentage, go in the denominator. We simplified the denominator by subtracting 30% from 100%. That leaves me with $190 divided by 70%. Remember, when you're actually doing your final computations, you don't use the 70%, you divide it by 100. So I have 190 divided by 0.70. 190 divided by 0.70 gives me a selling price to the consumer of $271.43. What this tells me is that this price tag of $271.43 is 30% greater. Another way of stating this is if I take 30% of 271 and I subtract that from 271, I'll get $190. Let's look at a third example. The cost of a new four-wheel ATV is $1,800. The store owner is selling it for $2,500. So remember, he bought it, the store owner got it for $1,800. He's selling it to you or me for $2,500, okay? We want to find the markup percentage. So our unknown in this problem is our markup percentage. We don't know what that is. We want to find up our markup percentage, and we want to find it based on the selling price. Okay, so based on the selling price, these are formulas here. This whole column is based on cost formulas. This whole column here are based on selling price formulas. Do I want to find the selling price? No. Do I want to find the cost? No. Do I want to find the markup percentage? Yes. So this is the formula that I'm going to want to be using for this problem. So my input values, I'm solving for the markup percentage, which is going to be this formula down here. I will be inputting a cost, which is $1,800. I will be inputting a selling price, which is $2,500. Okay, so putting in our values, I know that my selling price is $2,500 minus my initial cost of $1,800. And then I divide everything by my selling price of $2,500 again. The last step is to multiply everything by 100. That's going to turn it into that percentage for us. Okay? So $2,500 take away $1,800 is going to leave us with a grand total of $700. $700 is going to be divided by the denominator of 2,500. Okay, so 700 divided by 2,500 is going to give us, what do we end up with? 0. Then I need to put, times 100 over here. Okay. 700 divided by 2,500 leaves us with 0.28. All right, and if we multiply that by 100, we move the decimal over 2 spaces. Okay, and when we move the decimal over 2 spaces, we are left with a percentage of 28%. So what that means is if you want to take an initial value of $1,800 and you want to mark it up to $2,500, the increase based on your selling price is going to be a 28% increase. In review, the first thing you want to do is read through your formula and highlight what you know and what you don't know. Write down what you know and what you are looking for. The second thing you want to do is you want to find the correct formula that you're going to be using. So look for the words based on cost or based on selling price. Remember, your based on cost formulas are in the first column. Your based on selling price formulas are in the second column. After you have located the correct column, you want to locate the correct box. This problem says, what is the selling price? That is this first box here. We don't want to find the cost. We don't want to find the markup percentage. We want to find the selling price. So we will use the formula from this box. Once you've located the correct formula, you go ahead and you substitute the correct items into your formula for their respective locations. And after that, you solve. Remember, decimals and percentages. Work through your percentage, and as soon as your percentage is simplified, turn it into a decimal for the final computations.